Hi everyone, Lesleyanne here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today I'm going to talk to you about this. I don't want to touch it, but it's this. The dreaded cold sore. How many of us suffer from these? I have for years, and it's one of those subjects that we kind of try to skip over and not really address. So yeah, I thought, do you know, I'm going to do my video about this today. So if you'd like to stay watching and to hear what I have to say, then just stay. And for those of you that it doesn't really appeal to at all, then thank you for stopping by, but I do understand. I don't really know where to start with this video really, because professionally I have absolutely no idea where I'm going with this whatsoever, other than to say this is just a personal thing for me. I have been suffering with cold sores for as many years as I care to remember. I mean, I can't even tell you when they started or anything like that. I can't say to you, oh, I started to get them when I was 13 or anything. I just don't know. All I know is I've had them for years, on and off. I mean, I've gone years without having them. I've gone months, I've gone weeks. I've even kind of like repeatedly had them. So I might have had a cold sore, it's gone. I have another cold sore, it's gone. And that's a bit where I am right now at the moment. For me personally, this time of year is probably the worst, and you know, a lot of people think, oh, it's because you've got a cold or something like that. Wow. One of the things they do call cold sores, and I say they, I mean like the medical profession, especially back in the day, I think they called them fever blisters, because it meant that if you came out in a cold sore, more than likely you were heading for something. So whether it was the flu, whether it was a really bad cold, anything like that, if you were to get this fever blister first, you used to kind of like follow up with being a bit poorly, so hence that's where the name fever blister came from. But they can be caused by so many different things. Now, if I just stick to my own personal journey, for me, I tend to have an outbreak if I've been in the sun for too long. So the ultraviolet rays, they can play havoc with my skin. I don't tend to get them anywhere other than sort of like this, say that area there. So before, I've had it here, I've had it here. The majority of times they do, well, they used to be on the lip, somewhere on my lips, but these days I tend to get them more around the nose area, sometimes even up my nose, so it isn't at all obvious to anybody that I have them. And in a way that's kind of like better, because I don't feel like I've got to hide and almost, well, I don't suppose I'm imagining that people are looking at me, because they probably are, but they're probably not looking at me in that horrible way. They're probably looking at, oh poor thing, and now she feels she's got a cold sore, because I often do that. If I see somebody, I think, oh bless you, know just what you're feeling, I feel your pain. But yeah, for me, that's the sort of area that I tend to suffer. As I was saying, the sun, oh my goodness me. The sun, if I get, say if I'm like sunbathing and I've been out in the sun for too long, I can feel like my lips tingling and everything. So for me, it's essential that I put a really high sun factor on my face, which I do. I use a 50 plus, and I use like the eye protector 50 plus for the eye, and I also do a lip one. Now I've learnt that, because I remember once, I mean I was an adult, had all my children and everything, and we came back from, I don't know where we'd been, on holiday somewhere anyway, and it'd been really, really hot. And I was fine all the time I was out there. And then within a couple of days of being home, oh my goodness, the tingling all over my top lip. And then like that particular time, then in the morning, my top lip, my goodness, was so swollen. So it didn't really happen while I was out in the sun, but it kind of like obviously affected it in the sun, and then it came out when I got home, and it was so bad. I kid you not, the whole of my top lip was so bad, and I felt so embarrassed. I ended up having to go to the doctors because it was just like, I'd never had anything like that in my life, and of course it was so painful. It was also kind of our autumn, early winter here, so we went away for a little bit of winter sun. So of course the minute I got home it was like cold, but yeah, I was having to walk around with a scarf like across here. It was just awful. So as I say, I went to the doctors, and the doctor said to me, you know, have you been anywhere in the sun? Because to me it looks like an allergic reaction to the ultraviolet light, which can trigger. So in fact it wasn't the ultraviolet light that really caused it, but it can trigger the HSV virus, which is the what's it called? Is it herpes simplex virus? Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, and so but fortunately by going to the doctors I was actually prescribed some antiviral medication, so it kind of cleared up really, really quickly, which was such a relief, because that's the worst I've ever had it, and I've never had anything like that since. Other factors that affect me is stress. If I'm stressed over doesn't matter what the stress is, any kind of stress, that's it, I start to feel that little tingle within a day or two, have that little tingle going on, and you think, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. And you're looking in the mirror, just right, where is it? Where is it coming? I can feel the tingling. I can feel it in this area or that area. Let me look in the mirror, and you're looking all around. Oh, where's the blister? Has the blister started yet? No, the blister hasn't started. Now, if you are lucky enough to get that tingling, I haven't got any in front of me, but I've got like about 3 or 4 lots dotted around the house, like the bedroom and the bathroom, etc. The cold sore creams that you can get. And as soon as you feel that first tingle, if you put that on then it kind of does help. It doesn't really stop them from coming out, but it certainly does help with the control of them, I suppose. Sometimes they don't. If I catch it at the right time, doesn't always work that way, but the majority of the time, if I catch it at the right time, I can kind of prevent it getting too big or from hurting too much. I mean, there are other times when just absolutely nothing works whatsoever, and you just have to let it just go through its natural life, I suppose. Just let it come out, go, and hope that they stay away for a little bit. The other thing with me is I've got a really low immune system as well, because where I suffer from rheumatoid arthritis, and I've got a lung disease which was caused because of my rheumatoid arthritis, that I've now actually got it in my lungs, which is very unusual, but it can actually go into your lungs and it can go into your heart. So yeah, I've actually got it in my lungs now, probably for about the last 7 years ago it went into my lungs, I guess. My immune system is so low, and I take a lot of medication. I take like 32 tablets a day, and then I have to inject into my stomach as well. And that's because of the condition and the lung disease. And then of course there are other tablets that I have to take, like that certain tablet, to counteract the side effects of that tablet. So it's kind of like you know, wow, it's keeping me walking and everything, I know, and I have to pay a price for something, I guess, and this is probably it. But yeah, because my immune system's so low, and anyone out there with a low immune system, then, you know, you are more at more likely than perhaps somebody with a great immune system to possibly, you know, suffer these cold sores. Now, they're probably the only reasons that I personally get them, is through stress and through, as I say, having a low immune system. And my stress can be anything. It can be through, I don't sleep very well. That's a side effect of other things as well. I don't particularly sleep well at all, and so if you're deprived of your sleep, that's another thing, because then you're kind of run down, and yeah, you know, it's kind of like a knock-on effect. Let's see if I can move the camera down a bit. Oh, so sorry, hold on a sec. I feel like I'm looking up to the ceiling. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah, so for me, they're my personal reasons why I know I get them. Now, lately, probably this last, I don't know, couple of months, I haven't been long between each one. So say a couple of months, I had one up inside of my nostril. As I say, I know they don't look as unsightly. Well, they don't look unsightly at all, because nobody really knows you've got them up there apart from you yourself. Do I prefer them being up my nose? Maybe I prefer that on a visual basis, but it's so painful up your nose, and things like, you know, when you need to blow your nose, that sort of thing, especially if you've got a cold at the same time, and you obviously have to blow your nose then, you know, it's so uncomfortable. And then that one seemed to go, and then I had another one, but it was up the other side, up my other nostril. And now the latest ones are here. I don't want to frighten you. I'll come a little bit closer for you, but I don't want to scare you off. But if I go like that, you'll see that there's a line down the middle. So basically what I've got is I've got a cold sore this side, I've got a cold sore this side, and I've also had one which has nearly gone up my right nostril again. Yeah, I just don't seem to be free of them. And of course it's so kind of like restrictive anyway, because apart from being unsightly, and they affect your confidence, they certainly do me anyway. I say a lot, don't I? But it's when I'm like deep in thought about something, I kind of go, I think we all do that anyway. But yeah, I don't know, it's they're horrible. And as I say, apart from the visual thing, they are uncomfortable. I can't enjoy makeup or anything, because I don't really want to kind of put anything over it, because it doesn't hide it. You can still see them. They're just sort of like camouflaged a little bit, I suppose. And then I find that, because obviously you've got to try and get your makeup off again, and that's another whole issue, trying to take your makeup off, and you know, you've got to like interfere with your cold sore area, which, you know, if it's got to the stage where it's now scabby and on the way to healing, you end up sort of can take off the scab, and it just takes longer to heal. So, you know, I have, like today, I've got a little bit of concealer on, nowhere near here at all, just a little bit of concealer on, a little bit of mascara, and then a little bit of lipstick, and that's it. I haven't touched that at all. Cleansing your face, that's another thing. You have to really be careful about this area again. I like to do like the cleansing balms, that type of thing. So I really enjoyed that whole waxy, aromatherapy smell, the oils, the massaging into my face, all over the eye area and everywhere. Lip exfoliation, I like doing all of that. Well, obviously I can't do that when I've got this problem, because then I use like the hot water cloth to take it all off. So, you know, when you put your cloth under the hot water, your muslin cloth, wring it out and wipe everything off. I can do it, but I have to avoid this area again, and so I'm looking for something else that just to wipe over this with a cotton wool pad. And what I tend to use is just like a toner, one of my really soothing apricot toners for melamine, something like that. I tend to just sort of spritz it, and then just with a cotton pad just gently kind of blot it like that. Yeah, so sometimes I might try and put things on there that I think might help a little bit. Other times they really don't help, and I think they kind of prolong the healing process. And other times, you know, so I just leave it. I leave it to just heal on its own, which is probably pretty much what I'm doing right now, actually, because it's getting to the stage where it's like kind of itching now as well. So I know it's on its way out. Other times I have put things on topically and it has helped. Now, when I did some reading on this sort of years ago, really, I was always under the impression that if you kiss somebody with a cold sore, which if you see somebody with a cold sore on their lip, there's no way you're going to kiss them anyway, is there? Let's face it. Well, I wouldn't. And I most certainly wouldn't kiss my husband, and I wouldn't kiss my children or my grandchildren if I've got a cold sore. So right now, you know, when they come to see me, or I've got the grandkids or something, I'm going to say, bye, kiss grandma, like this. And then I did a lot of research on it to discover actually that you don't actually have to have a cold sore to pass it on to somebody else. If you literally suffer from the HSV, you know, the cold sore virus, if you suffer from that, God, I think it's affecting my brain at the moment. Yeah, if you suffer from that, then because the virus lives in your nerve endings, then, well, it lays dormant. It stays in your nerve endings. It just lays there dormant, just waiting for it to go, yeah, I can come out again. Yeah, I'm going to get out this time. You know, so when you're sleep deprived, as I say, when you're stressed, when you're going to be poorly, something like that, it comes out, you know, waving its little, what do you call them, you know, waving its, what's the word? Pom-poms. Those things, cheerleader things. Yeah, I'm going to get her again. So yeah, it just lays there in, you know, in like particular nerve endings, just ready to be triggered. And once it's triggered out, they come again. So apparently the fact that you may not have a cold sore at all at that moment in time, you can actually still infect people because the virus is there. It's just laying there. I didn't know that, and it's something I found out quite recently, that. What's the other thing? So I've mentioned the stress, the sleep deprivation, the being ill, obviously the low immune system, that type of thing. I know what else I was going to talk to you about is I have never found it's worked for me, but it might work for you or work for somebody else that you know. Now, hot and cold compresses are meant to be very good, and I have tried them. In the same way as you get any other injury, you know, you can put on, have a heat pad or a hot water bottle to help with the pain, and then carry on afterwards with the cold compress. So whether you're putting, I don't know, a few frozen peas inside a little muslin bag or something and holding them onto the cold sore, this hot and cold compress is meant to work wonders and help kind of like the recovery time is meant to kind of cut it in not in half. There's something else that's meant to cut it in half, and I haven't tried it yet, and I think I'm going to try it in a minute. But I haven't found that the hot and cold compress has really helped me. I didn't notice any difference at all. I've also tried like tea tree oil as well, and that just made it worse. The pain to start with, I know you're meant to dilute it, and I did dilute it. I don't know if I diluted it enough, but it was so painful and it stung so much because obviously it's an open wound. I'm not even going to try that again, and in actual fact it made mine worse, so it kind of flared up even more. Now I've also read that putting a garlic clove, holding a garlic clove over it for a while is meant to help. I haven't tried that either. I love garlic, so I should try it, but I don't know. And garlic apparently is supposed to be really good for a lot of things, so maybe I will try that. But one of the things I've read up on recently is tea bags. In a cold tea, when you've had your cup of tea, you know, or even if you're not having a cup of tea, but you know, steep it, then just take your tea bag out, you know, wring it out a bit as you would normally do, and just leave it to go cold. And it's supposed to be is it the flavonoids? I'm sure it was the flavonoids in a tea bag that is meant to be very, very healing, and a very good anti-inflammatory, and it is supposed to, if you're lucky anyway, cut down the healing time by half. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to go downstairs, make myself a nice cup of tea, and then I'm going to sit there sort of with this cold tea bag on, and I'm going to just see what happens. I've got nothing to lose, have I? But yeah, I think that was all I really kind of wanted to address today. I can't think there was anything else about these that I've read, apart from just how unsightly they are, how painful they are, because they really do hurt. Oh, I know what I was going to say is last week I went and bought some of those blister plaster things, not the ones that are for your feet, but you can now get special plasters for cold sores, and they're like a sort of, they're not like a gel, but they're like well, they are sort of like a gel, but I'll tell you what they look like. They almost look like a contact lens, I suppose, is what they remind me of anyway. And then you just sort of peel the backing off. They're very tiny, as you can imagine. In actual fact, when I put them on mine, I had to put on two. I had to put one here and one here. The first time I put them on, it was going up my nose a bit too much, and because where it goes up inside a bit, they had to come off because they just weren't in. I just couldn't get them to lay flat, so I had to take that off. Of course I took that off, and what happens, you take the top off because they're sticky, they stick to it, so they have to be adhesive to stay there. So that wasn't great. So then I couldn't reapply that day. I suppose I could have done, but I didn't want to. So I left it a couple of days, then did it again, and then I did it lower. So I put like one, obviously this side, one this side, but I went a bit lower, and then I with cotton buds, I patted it all on so it stayed there and everything. And yeah, you wouldn't, I suppose there was a bit of protection there towards it. But every time I looked at myself in the mirror, it looked like I had a snotty nose. It honestly did. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's good job I can laugh at myself, isn't it? Honestly. Yeah, because it was all shiny. It looked like I had a snotty old nose. It really did. And I thought, oh my God, I can't go out anyway looking like that. You know, get a bit of light on it, and it was like beaming off of it. Terrible. so I thought, oh, I know, I'll whack a bit of makeup on it, put a bit of foundation or something over it to hide it. It emphasised it even more, took down the shine, didn't look like I had a snotty nose. It kind of looked like I had a couple of suitcases under my nose. Honestly, it really did, because you had where the plasters went over it, these little clear things went over it, and then I put foundation on. It kind of built up all the way around the edge of the little plaster things, if you know what I mean. So because I had to powder it as well, I had to put a setting powder on to hold it onto this plaster thing, and then it just, as I say, it just looked like I have this like blooming, oh, I couldn't win, honestly. So again, had to take it off. What happens? You got it. Same thing as the last time. Pull the top off, as gentle as I was. So I was probably like, I'd put myself back a few days in the healing process by using those. So that's something I won't be buying again. But you know, I'd never tried them, and so if I had never used them, but I wouldn't know that they're not brilliant for me, but they might be for you. Anyway, my lovelies, I'm going to stop there because I could go rambling on forever and ever. I have got a sore throat, as you can probably hear, but these all started kind of like way before this started. The sore throat really only started yesterday. Yeah, so I would ramble on and ramble on and ramble on because I could talk forever. So I will stop here, and let me know in the comments below if you suffer from cold sores, if you've got any remedies that have really worked for you. I would absolutely love to hear from you, and I'll give them a go. So yeah, that's going to be it from me, my lovelies. So thank you so much for watching. If you have found this video of any interest, and I really hope that you have, especially if you are a sufferer like me, then please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you could, because I do talk about an array of subjects. I really do. So it'd be fantastic if you could subscribe to my channel. I'd love it. And for those of you that have subscribed already, do you know, I so appreciate your support. You've been amazing, and I am so grateful. I really am. And I'm as you know, I'm quite new to doing my YouTube channel, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it more and more and more, and I'm starting to make some lovely friends. Bella, oh, Beauty on a Budget Bella, I love her. She is just so damn cute. We have a nice little banter, quite similar personalities. We have a lot of banter going. We make each other like laugh. She absolutely cracks me up with the things she comes out with. She's just amazing. So Beauty on a Budget. I'll leave Bella's link below for her YouTube channel, because she deserves this shout out. She's just lovely, and as I say, we just like crack each other up. She's so hilarious, honestly. When I just think of her, I just want to laugh, because oh, bless her, I love her so much. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because I just will ramble and I will talk for England. So for now, my lovelies, I'm going to say goodbye, and as always, stay safe and stay fabulous. Bye. Well, me and Chris have just got a cup of tea now, so yeah, I've kept the tea bags. He's laughing at me. He thinks wow. It's a strange. He thinks this is the strangest thing ever. But look, I'm going to give it a go, Chris, because you just don't know. It might help. So anyway, there they are. I'll let you know how I get on.